We're Linda
and Deanna.
We're neighbors and bitches just like you. We're badasses in bathrobes.
We lift each other up every day to get through life.
With resting bitch face.
And a good dose of fun and craziness.
In bathrobes. We started this podcast because we want to live, not just exist.
As our HOA suggests.
This is a real as shit, messy, not perfect lifestyle podcast.
Perfection is overrated anyway. We're here to say you are not alone.
And you can be friends with your neighbors too.
Or not.
We don't care. We're here either way. You know what they say, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
And don't throw a party and not invite me.
Let the bitch sesh begin. This is Bathrobe Bitches episode 7. Do you love or hate in your bathrobe? In this episode, we rant about how love never breaks, even within the current state of cancel culture, our guilty pleasures, and how the things we say have impacts we can't foresee. Welcome back, bitches.
That's a good one. We should keep that.
I know. I liked it too. I was thinking about it as a good intro.
That is a good intro.
I thought so.
So what'd you cook this week?
What did I cook this week? This is my favorite segment.
I know. That's why I asked you.
I know. This week I didn't make too much. I did a lot of fasting this week because last week I ate too many healthy sugary snacks, if that's even a thing.
That's totally not a thing. No. You should know better than that.
They had simple ingredients and I knew what they all were, but there was a lot of sugar involved.
Sugar is not healthy.
I know. So I was trying to get back on track, so I didn't make too much. And I was feeling lazy, so I ordered Chipotle one day when I wasn't fasting. I had like some sort of fucking burrito bowl or Whole30 bowl or I don't know, one of those things they have that's supposed to be better for you.
I do that every once in a while when I don't want to cook. I'm probably going to do that tonight.
I like it. I'd actually never ordered from Chipotle before.
Did you DoorDash it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did DoorDash it.
Don't ever go there. I'm telling you, the one by us, DoorDash is the only way to go because you go there to pick it up.
Is it busy?
Let's just say when you're watching them put everything together, you're like, either hurry up and do your job or don't put the rice, like don't drop the rice into the cauliflower rice. Like you're putting things that you're
cross contamination.
Like, oh! Yes.
No.
And they don't mean to do it. They're just trying to serve fast, and it's just like, when you're in a when they're in the assembly line and it just like falls in, they don't notice. But I saw it happen like twice and I'm like, that's like rice and is one thing and cauliflower rice is another thing. And people who want cauliflower rice don't want the real rice in the bowl.
Like for a reason. Because they don't want carbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just kind of like, if I don't see them do it, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I
mean, at least white rice is still gluten free, so there's no gluten contamination.
Yeah, but still, it's the whole thing of like watching it, it's like if you see the back of a pizza parlor and you know how like what goes into making a pizza, you don't really want pizza anymore,
I do know exactly that because I've worked at Domino's and I was the general manager of a Papa John's.
See, and I worked at Pizza Hut, so.
Yeah. Oh, Pizza Hut's the worst. All their dough is frozen. That shit pisses me off.
It wasn't when I worked there.
Oh my God.
We made it fresh every day. In fact, that was my very first job, is working the flipping dough hook on the flipping mixing bowl.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we proofed our stuff and everything. I mean, it was like a whole process. But they've changed since then. I mean,
yeah.
It's nowhere near the same as it used to be. We had a sit down. We had one of the sit down restaurants with a salad bar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like intense working there. But still, you see what goes on back there and you're like, I didn't eat pizza for a while after I worked there.
Yeah, what's weird is you said that, and I was having flashbacks to when I was a kid, and I would go to Wendy's with my grandparents, and Wendy's used to have like a salad bar in Wendy's. Yep. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I don't know why that just popped in my head, because like I've obviously been to Pizza Hut, though. I think Pizza Hut has the worst pizza ever, so like I would not eat there as a grown-up or go there willingly on my own. Sorry, Pizza Hut, but your pizza fucking sucks. But like I was like picturing in my mind like a Pizza Hut with the salad bar, and like I was suddenly transported to like Wendy's when I was a kid with like the Wendy's salad
The
bar.
Wendy's salad bar.
But they don't do that anymore.
Nope. Nope. I don't blame them. I mean, so a lot of that stuff went bad really easily, and it was just out there, you know. When you go to like a fast food joint, you want what they're actually like fast food. I mean, at least with Pizza Hut, it was a sit down, you know, take orders from the table type of pizza place at the time that I worked there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we had delivery, and yes, we had pickup, but for the most part, if you went into the restaurant and had salad bar, you were sitting and eating in a booth, and you know you had a waitress come over and take orders and all that. Although I was not that person, I was the person answering the phone for the drive-through. We actually were the first Pizza Hut, I think, in the state of California to have drive-through, and we were the first restaurant doing it. So,
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, I was the very first person that managed drive-through in California when I was like 15 years old.
I love it.
It's crazy. It was fun.
So yeah, that was it. I didn't really cook too much. I didn't eat very much. And I ordered Chipotle. And then yesterday, Lucas had his little friends sleep over, so I ordered them pizza. And I just made like some sad chicken with teriyaki sauce on it and asparagus. That was it.
Yeah.
What did you cook this week?
I cooked a lot of our old recipes. We just moved them around and like on the calendar. I just copied and pasted them, and then, you know, made them again. Trying not to go too out of it. I had a really busy week this week with like work and stuff. I had to teach a training class. I'm like, I really don't want to think about dinner. I don't want to think about something new. I just want to do something I can just whip together real quick. So that's what we did. So it's kind of boring for us too.
I like it. That's why I enjoy the fasting, because I'm like, I don't feel bad if I don't eat. I actually feel pretty great. And I'm very busy. So like if I don't eat for a few days, it's like not a big deal.
Yeah, I can't do that. Like I've gone periods of time where I'm not eating, like I won't eat lunch or breakfast sometimes, or I'll just wait till later to eat breakfast, but I can't. I get too hungry. And I'm like, I'm proud of myself for being hungry, because it used to be where I never was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would go days not even think about food. And I don't think it was very healthy for me at the time. So I have been noticing like I'm getting hungry, so I will eat more so than I have to feed myself because it's breakfast time, which is different.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm proud of myself for that, I guess, in a way.
I like it.
So, yeah. So Nikki said something to me the other day that just blew my mind.
Ooh, share.
Yeah. So I was having a kind of a fight with a friend of mine. And I was a little upset, and I was like crying and stuff. And she's like, "Mommy, what's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, I had a fight with a friend of mine, and, you know, my heart's a little broken." And she says, "Mommy, love never breaks." She said, "Your heart may break because that's part of you, and it's full of love, but love itself never breaks. And love will put your heart back together again after time if you just keep loving."
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. And I just think about that. Like in my brain, like I had a picture of like a broken heart that's kind of like encasing this bright light of love. And then it's just stitching itself back together. As she said it, it's kind of like a little movie. And I just started thinking about it and thinking about all the things about the people in my life that have hurt me. And then if I still loved them, I didn't hurt as much. And it reminded me of sonnet number 16 from William Shakespeare. It's all about how when you think back on all your woes and your hardships, but if you think about your friends and everything else, everything is better. And so I started thinking about that, and how much love can I put out in the world, and how much love do I put out in the world? And I realized that no matter how much and how deep people hurt me, I still love them underneath of that. I might not be in the same room with them ever again in my entire life. I may never look at them. I may never speak to them in any form of communication, but I can still love them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that has helped me a lot over the past week, especially because I started feeling that way about everybody. And I'm like, I don't need to feel that way. I don't need to feel the hate and everything. And it's been really hard, especially because all the craziness that's going on outside, and it just seems like hate is everywhere. I mean, like, it's almost like everything's telling you need to hate things.
But like, take a look at like what we just went through with the election, like the last year with COVID and the election and everything that's gone on around that. It's sort of the same thing. That like, you know, we have half the people on one side and half the people on the other, and nobody's bothering to try to understand the other side's point of view.
It's not even that, though. I mean, it's like they're approaching the other side with extreme hatred.
Yes.
And not even any kind of like, kind of olive branch type thing. It's like, I don't even know. It's like, and then they're taking things away from us. Like the whole cancel culture thing is just, it's eating away at me because there's so much hate behind it, it seems. And it's like, well, they're, you know, they justify it because they're saying, well, we're doing this to take hate out of the world. But how do you take hate out of the world if you're just replacing it with more hate? It's like you have to love and understand. Understanding and love trumps fear and hatred every time. And it's like, I want so badly to help people love more, but I don't even know how to begin.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, the issue with fear and love is they're the opposite of each other.
Right.
So people who are projecting fear, what they're lacking emotionally is love. Love for themselves or love from other people. They don't have a sense of belonging. So what they're projecting is fear because they are lacking in love.
Right. How do you overcome that, though? That's the thing. And that's what's been bugging me ever since she said love never breaks. I just been thinking about how can I put more love out there? How can I take some of this fear and some of the hatred out of the whole.
Well, I will tell you exactly how you get from fear to love. The path from fear to love is miracles. And miracles are really just a shift in your perception. Because how we view things or how we think about things is what we manifest for ourselves.
Right.
Because I know I've said before, you know, thoughts become things. Yes. So what we think is what our reality is. Oh, and this reminds me of an email that I sent out for my client this week about the universal law of expectation. If we expect that something is going to be hard, that is what we're going to experience.
So that's why I can do hard things.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, it'll be easy.
Exactly, right? So we tell ourselves that we can't do it. This is going to be hard. This is going to suck. I'm going to fucking hate this. And then our experience is, this is really hard. I fucking hate this. But if we change our perception about the experience, there's a chance that we are going to experience more what we want, or we're going to get more out of the experience because of our own personal perceptions. So the definition of a miracle is a shift in perception. So if we shift our perception of whatever it is,
right,
that's how we can move from fear to love. But the issue is that people aren't taught generally about how to deal with their emotions or, you know, work through those things. Like, there's not a class in high school about, like, you know, how to be more fucking positive. You know, like,
maybe there should be one already.
Yeah.
I mean, like, gosh, I mean, I see like all the stuff coming across my Facebook feed. I don't even want to look at it anymore. It's just so like, you know, hey, let's stop reading Dr. Seuss. It's racist. Like, what? Stop doing this. It's mean and it's nasty. Stop paying attention to Johnny Depp. He's a wife beater. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
know?
I didn't know there was like a whole actual name for it, cancel culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't pay attention to that stuff. But like I do, James tells me stuff sometimes. Like he was telling me, I remember over the holidays about how like people were all in had all their panties in a bunch about the "Baby It's Cold Outside" song and it being like a
Oh.
rape song
Oh,
and don't
yeah.
listen to it. He's trying to fucking rape her. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like seriously, right now we have bigger problems in the world
I
than
know.
this like song that everybody enjoys. And you know what? Again, how you perceive it is how you're going to experience it. So if you tell yourself this song is about this guy trying to rape this girl, then that's
what you're
going to
gonna
be your
believe.
experience of the song. But if you think of it as like, oh, like these people like each other and they're having a playful evening and like
They don't want to leave each other.
They don't
because
wanna
they're
leave each
both
other.
want to be there. Yeah.
exactly, like then that's what you're going to experience. And it's really like two totally different perceptions on the same thing. And no one is necessarily right or wrong, but like you said, like we need more positivity. We need more love in the world. We need to lead with that instead of hate. Like can't that song have the benefit of the doubt that the person who wrote it and sang it intention was not to like rape this bitch on a cold snowy night? Like give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break, Deanna. It's ridiculous.
Songs are one of those things that it's like it's all up to the interpretation, and it is like it really gets me upset when they try to do it. I mean, ever since PMRC came up with the whole ratings thing on music, I've been like super like I don't want my music censored. I don't think that it's right. I don't think that putting labels on it is something that we need. I think we need parents to explain things to their children. I believe that using guidelines on listening to the music before you let your children listen to it is a good way to go. I don't think it should be labeled any which way or whatever, because people take things the wrong way. And it doesn't matter what the artist meant with it. It matters on what you take into it, right? Because I had a lady at church one time talk to me about how she never let her children listen to secular music because it was, or I should say non-religious. I don't remember secular or non-secular. I always get them confused which way it goes. But she did not let them listen to non-religious music growing up. She thought that everyday music was the devil's work. And I'm like, well, if you're always looking for the devil, it'll always appear. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. You can take the most explicit song and make it about God if you wanted to.
Yep.
It is just a twist of a single saying or a twist in your perception. And it really irks me when people go after artists or anything to say that, you can't speak anymore because what you said was wrong. And it's like, no, it was meant in a way to help you grow and learn. You're just not growing and learning. You're saying, shut up. And it's like,
you're squashing their voice. Like this is how that person, like musical artist, this is how they express themselves in the world. This is how they get their feelings out. And the words that they say don't necessarily have the meaning that you're applying to it because you didn't write the fucking song. You don't know what it actually means.
And half the time, if you talk to somebody who's up in arms over something that like they say that's wrong, and you ask them especially what it is that they think is wrong, it isn't even part of what it is to begin with. Like I remember the big thing about an Eminem song, like people went up in flames over an Eminem song. I can't remember what the song was, but then when you listen to what they were fighting about and you read the lyrics, the lyrics mimicked what they were upset about. Like they were saying the same thing, and the people fighting against the song was saying the same thing that the song was about. It was just that they didn't hear it. They didn't hear the swing in the song at the end. Like there was actually, it countered itself within the lyrics to kind of show you the dynamic, but these people didn't listen to it. They just fought over it. I can't remember what it was, but I remember getting so worked up about it, and it always brings back that whole thing. And when I saw the thing about Dr. Seuss and them taking apart, so there's like 3 levels to it. So there's a couple of books that have some implicit things in it that are not correct for the culture that we're in right now, and the people who published Dr. Seuss books willingly took them off the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
But then everybody's like, okay, don't read any Dr. Seuss now because of these 3 or 4 books that are being discontinued by the publisher. I mean, it's not even like nobody made them do this. They're willingly doing it themselves. But now everybody's like, don't read Dr. Seuss at all. And it's like, well,
why?
wait.
What? I don't know anything about this. Like, why are we not reading Dr. Seuss? Why is Dr. Seuss a racist?
Well, there are a couple of books, and I don't even remember. I mean, one I think is something about mulberry spray that are somewhat racist in context, and the publisher recognized that and decided to pull them out. And I understand that they're doing it on their own. That it's not somebody, but the people. I don't even know who, but my Facebook feed has been blowing up with either read Dr. Seuss now, get every Dr. Seuss book you can because they're discontinuing it, or it's the complete opposite is never read Dr. Seuss again because these books are racist. And it's like, well, wait a minute, it's like the whole Mark Twain all over thing again, you know. I mean, there's a certain time and place that books are valid, and it shows a valid perspective of the time, and that may not apply anymore. It may not be there today, but it teaches you what people were thinking back then to lead to what we are today,
right? And again, it's like back to songs, right? Like, it's how we perceive it,
exactly,
and with the understanding that like this was written at a certain point in time,
exactly,
you know, and we are at a different point in time, but that doesn't mean that we still can't get out of the story, the main theme, which I'm sure has nothing to do with racism. No. Whatever the point of the Dr. Seuss book is, the point of the book isn't racist.
Exactly.
And little kids who read the book are not going to think, oh, I think this is fucking racist. Because little kids don't think like that. They don't care.
So, exactly. And what's really, really funny of that you say that, it just totally reminded me of another conversation I had with Nikki. We were watching the Disney Zombies movie, and she's learning about civil rights in school right now, and she's learning about segregation, and she's watched this movie with me I don't know how many times of the past few years, and she's loved it. And she turned to me the other day and she goes, Mommy, this movie's all about segregation, isn't it? They're keeping the zombies away from the humans, and that's just not right. I was like, I know, but at the end of the movie, they all get together, right? And they're all friends. That's the point of the movie. It's getting past that segregation part of it. And she's like, that's a beautiful thought. Are we like that here? And I was like, we're supposed to be. People don't see it that way. But I think we're a lot further along than we had been. But so many people are bringing it up like it's just in our face every day, and it's really not. And it's like, it's how we perceive things. She didn't know anything about segregation before, you know, this movie really, and her learning it in school, because I didn't want her to focus on that in her life, because everybody is beautiful no matter what. You have a beauty within you that you have that has been given to you since birth, and your talents are your talents, and my talents are my talents. It doesn't matter what we look like on the outside. We're still people. Like, you know, I always believe that, you know, our blood's all the same color, our snot's all the same color, you know, everything's like all the same color. If we get a better suntan during the summer than other people, then, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, people use crayons on the outside to color us different. It doesn't mean that our insides are any different. And I mean, and you can either choose to fill yourself up with love, which I've taught my daughter that, obviously, because love never breaks, right? I mean, she's the one that gave that to me. Rather than hate, because why hate somebody if you don't know them? And why fear them if you don't understand them? Take the time and understand people, and take the time to love them, because that's what life should be about.
Yeah, or just, if you don't want to do that, just go the other way and mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
is really where it's at, right? Because, you know, people get up on their fucking soapbox and they have something to say, but then they don't like it if people come back at them, you know, either. But if you, I guess, like, aren't prepared to, like, have actual facts to back up what you're saying, like, you should just go the other way, you know? And, like, really, what does it matter? Or I'm sure there's somebody that wants to hear your opinion, but it's not me.
Right.
You know, or I really liked, I saw, you know, last year, I think, when all the stuff was going on with the racists and was it George Floyd?
Yeah.
That was his name. I had seen this interview with Morgan Freeman, and he was really talking about how he hates the concept of Black History Month.
Yes.
And
he's been saying that for years.
Yes, and also that, like, by talking about racism so much, we're continuing to make racism a thing. We're continuing to let it live in the world because we are so focused on it.
Exactly. Which is why I never talked to my daughter about it, because if she didn't know that she needed to, that things were that way, then she would never treat anybody in that way, and she would never think to treat somebody in that way. She would just think that everybody is different and lovable and beautiful in their own right, which is what I want her to know. Part of me is like, I've always loved that quote from Morgan Freeman. It was like, you know, it's not, if you just take the color out of the sentences, it'll be fine. You know, like, it's not a black man. It's just a man.
Exactly.
You know, it's not a white man. It's just a man. Just call it a man and call it a day. Describe their skin color, but don't make a big deal about it. You know, if you need to.
Like, when it's needed. Sometimes you have to say, like, you know, that guy over there with the dark skin. Like, you have to, it's like an adjective.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you need an adjective to explain what you're trying to explain, but
you need adjectives, but not labels.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's where it gets really confusing, is if you apply a label to something versus an adjective about something, it becomes a different part of you. And it's like, you know, how do you reconcile that? And, like, I just love the way my daughter thinks, you know, with the whole love thing. And I just really want more people to be that way.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I was making me think about, Lucas was telling me something the other day about on the bus. He's like saying that he didn't have a good time on the bus because, like, everybody was yelling at each other. And he was talking about how there were, like, all these kids yelling at each other using the N-word.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And he was like, oh, well, then, like, they were using a bad word. And I was like, what word? Tell me what word they were using. He's like, they're using the N-word. And then I had to, like, kind of explain to him. I was like, they may not have been yelling at each other. They might have just been friends, like, trying to, like, explain to him this aspect of, like, you know, in their culture, like, that's how they refer to each other, and that's okay. But you don't do that.
Yeah. I know.
You know, like, I was like, I don't know how to, like, really have this conversation, like, in this way. And I was like, okay, I was like, they might not have been mad at each other. Like, they might just be friends, and that's how they refer to each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I had that conversation with my nephew one time because we were, he was using that word in front of Nikki when she was 2. And I'm like, they're in California, so it's a whole different culture out there. I mean, it's like, it's not such a big thing because in California, there was really no segregation. There's really not, I mean, it's very, I don't know, it's very love everybody type of thing when I grew up anyway. And they were saying that word in front of my 2-year-old, and I, like, pulled him aside. I'm like, you can't say that in front of her. If she repeats that when I go home, it's going to be on, and I can't have that. And they're like, what? It's just a word. It's not a big deal. I'm like, it's not a big deal here. And it's not a big deal for you to say it. It's a real big deal if my daughter says it,
Yeah.
if she goes home. And I don't want her repeating that word. And she's 2-year-olds repeat everything.
Yeah. It's hard to explain that to kids, like the nuances of living life, I guess, you know?
Yeah, especially now where everybody's taking everything too seriously and they're not considering the loving aspect of things.
Yeah, and even like, you know, trying to think about like, you know, in our neighborhood, like we are the minority.
Yeah.
We live in like a predominantly African American area, or you know, there are a lot of African Americans here, Haitians. You know, like we're the minority. But I don't think about it like that. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so scared because like we're the only 2 white people in our whole neighborhood. Like, I don't fucking give a crap. It's not something that I think about. Also because like, you know, I've lived in a lot of different places. Like, I've lived in the projects. Like, I'm just used to being the only white person. But I don't think about, you know, like, that's what the reality is that, like, yes, like, on our block, our 2 houses, we're the only 2 white families.
Right.
But it's not something we, like, focus on, and I don't imagine that the other people around us are like, oh my God, look at those 2 white families in the corner of our all, you know, dark colored neighborhood.
I will say that the first time I did go to a homeowners association meeting, they asked me why I was there, and I'm like, because I'm a homeowner, and they're like, oh, we thought you were the real estate agent. I was like, wait a minute, whoa, what did I walk into? You know, because it was like my first like month of living here, and so it was a little off-putting because they didn't know that I had bought a house, you know, so they didn't know who I was. It wasn't a big thing, but it was like, whoa, okay. I thought it was funny, and I joined the homeowners association like council board so I can learn who my neighbors were, you know, and it was they've always accepted me. I mean, it wasn't a big deal at all. It's not like the monsters are due on Maple Street where, you know, we're singled out and kind of like, you know, hated upon. It's not like that at all. I mean, which I love about our neighborhood. So I don't know. I don't really think about it. I mean, I grew up in the high school I went to. I was the minority. I was like the lowest bottom of the thing. They published in the school newspaper my senior year the percentages of ethnicities that went to my high school, and whites were the lowest percentage of population, and white females were the lowest of the lowest.
Interesting.
So I was the biggest minority in the whole school, and I never felt any kind of like, you know, like singled out for that at all, even though it could have easily gone that way. But again, you approach people with love and they're going to love you back. And if you approach them with fear or what was the other one? I don't remember what I said earlier. What's
hate?
Fear and hate. Yeah. Fear and hate, that's all you're going to get.
Yep.
And you're going to live your life not knowing people and not knowing the beauty of people that are around you. And I choose to with love and understanding. I think it's a better way to go.
Yeah, I agree. And even, you know, if there are people that I don't want to love and understand for whatever reason, I just move on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel the need to, like, project hate towards people for a specific reason. I would just much rather move on with my life and let them move on with their life. And then, you know, everybody go their separate ways.
Yep.
I don't want to cause hate. I don't want to cause fighting.
Yep. Neither do I.
Yeah.
Much rather love people and hang out on the beach than anything else.
I agree. Let's do that shit.
We will be doing that shit. I cannot wait. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Oh,
I know. When we go to the South Carolina to the beach in July, we should do our podcast episode on the beach.
Oh, yes.
That would be so fun.
That would be fun.
I like it.
Yeah, waves crashing in the background, kids screaming.
So we can call it like trading our bathrobe for bathing suits or something.
Yes, and just
I like it. Write that down. That was some good shit.
Okay. Okay, well, fill the dead air.
Coming in July. Well, speaking of love and hate, so I've been like on this kick. So one of my guilty pleasures,
Oh my God, what?
is I like really farcical things. Like the more out there it is, the more I like. Like I love South Park because I just think it's so fucking funny. It's
It is hilarious.
Oh my God, because it's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's funny.
Yes.
And I've been watching over the last week. I've been like obsessed with Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, really?
Yeah, I know. I
can't even.
Total trash TV. But which I like when it originally came out. Like I watched the seasons, and a lot of it too. Like I think Jersey Shore started in 2009, which is also the year Lucas was born, and I was home with Lucas for 15 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it started there, but it's just so hysterical. But also what I really like about it is like they're ride or die, you know, like I think it's more of a like, I wish I had like a crazy group of friends to go do shit with. It would like always be there for me if I needed them. And like, you know, I don't necessarily want like all the, you know, the fighting. So like they like love and hate each other at the same time all the time, and there's like always some crazy drama going on. I don't know how really real all that is either, like, you know, how much of it is like
scripted,
exaggerated, or scripted, who knows. But I just really enjoy watching it, and I discovered that they have this like more current version of it, which is like Jersey Shore Vacation.
Yeah.
You know, where they like all go, they keep, like are doing all these things together still, and I was like obsessed with it.
I don't see it. I can't watch. I have a hard time watching reality TV. I think Matt and I Matt's really into Below Deck on Bravo. He started watching it because it's all about yachting, and it's all about being on a boat in the water, and it's like, you know, they've got really great beaches, and he's like, ooh, I want to go there, and oh, I want to go there, and you know, everything else. But then he gets all wrapped up into the drama that's on the boats, and I'm like, I watch it with him, and I kind of like, I wouldn't want to be around these people. Like, I don't want to, because again, they're picking apart each other all the time. They're picking each other apart. It's like, it's not that love thing that it's like, I want people to be happy and supportive of each other. I don't want people picking them apart and making them feel like crap. I don't see the point. It drives me nuts. But I understand the train wreck that you can't walk away from. I understand that completely. I don't have it in me to watch stuff like that though.
Ugh, I don't know. It's just like dumb, like brain food. You know, like sometimes you just gotta zone out and not watch anything meaningful. And like for me, that's it. Like, I don't like a lot of reality TV. Like I don't like The Bachelor or like stuff like that. But like Jersey Shore, I don't know, for some reason I just always really enjoyed it. But I think from that, you know, perspective of like, I wish I had like a crazy group of friends that would like just go do crazy shit with me. Like we were talking about before we started recording. Like,
yes.
I just want to like have some drinks and like, you know, put on a skimpy top and like go dance in a club. But like, one, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so I can't do that right now.
We could do it in your living room, Linda.
We could. Maybe we should like set up some like a club in the living room.
Yeah, we just have to put James in the kitchen behind the island as the bartender, and then
we should do it on the front lawn. Maybe we can get some other people to come over. We like put a grill out there and like just like make a like club on the front lawn. I think the HOA would be pissed.
I don't know. Why don't we try and piss them off?
I like it.
I know, right?
How much do you think they'd fine us for that?
Hey, you know what? We could just post it onto the thing saying we're going to have this party. Everybody's invited, and then they can't do anything.
Yeah.
Because we did not exclude them from our little soiree out on the front lawn of our house. I think it's fun. Maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do something crazy like that.
I like it.
Bring out my tent again. We can put the disco lights in it.
Yes. I've been feeling like doing something crazy. I don't know what it is, but I want to do it. I feel itchy. Like,
I know what you mean. Oh my God, I've been talking about getting on a plane for like the last 3 weeks now. I'm like, I just want to get on a plane. I just want to go somewhere. It's been so long since I've been on a plane.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we do a lot of, not walking, like, driving to places. So, like, we drove to Panama City. We drove to Illinois. Like we've been on a couple of closer trips. Lucas and I went to Nashville, because that just feels safer for me right now than driving.
Yeah, I know, but I've been wanting to go to California, see my family again.
I know,
it's like,
you miss your daughter.
Yeah. And it's just been crazy like that. So, yeah. Wild and crazy, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Do I have any guilty pleasures? Hallmark movies. It's stupid, but
it's not stupid.
I
love Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies.
Well, I started watching the Hallmark Channel because I can watch them and not worry about the content that Nikki sees, like when she was like 5. And now it's like I can't get away from them. It's like it's so. I
love the Christmas ones.
Oh my God. I'm so bored with the Christmas ones though. It's like I'm starting to they're coming out with a new series for spring and it starts on tonight at 9:00 and I'm like, oh, I should have reserved the TV from 9:00.
Yeah. Did you ever watch, there was a series, I think it was on Lifetime. It was called like The Cove or something. It was about this lady who was like a judge and she moved to this small town and.
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, it was like, what was it called? I can't remember. You would like it. It was really cute.
Yeah, and I've started watching the Hallmark movies and mysteries too because I keep seeing all the flipping Hallmark. Once you start watching Hallmark, you see all of them, and it's like you've seen them all, and they just keep replaying the same movies after a while, so you kind of get bored with it. So then I switched over to Hallmark movies and mysteries because their content's more new. But at the same time, it's like that's my guilty pleasure. I'm more into reading than I am watching TV. And I have a tendency to write. I mean, like that's more my thing, I guess. I wrote 200 words the other day. I'm very proud of myself.
That's amazing.
It's like
look how many words you're writing this year.
I know already.
You should be so proud of yourself.
I am.
You're doing a great job.
And that doesn't even count the journal entries or the flippin' blogs I've been doing. Although the blogs for our website's kind of like, bleh. I gotta find something to write for that.
Yeah, our website blog is a little flat.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. The whole podcast is a work in progress.
Yep.
But again, I'm not attached to whether people like our podcast or not because I'm making our podcast for me.
And me.
Yeah.
Don't forget me. I'm here too. Of course, I'm here making it for Linda, so.
We're doing it for us because we think it's fun.
Yes, we do.
But if the byproduct is that other people enjoy it and get something out of it, then that's really great too.
Yeah. Yep. I'm hoping people get more love out of it than hate, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And if you like our episode, feel free to review it on all of our platforms, et cetera, because we don't have any podcast reviews yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you review our podcast, you could be our very first podcast review ever.
Ooh, should we give a prize?
I was just thinking that. Oh my God. Maybe it's like a really great review for the very first one. We'll send them a Bathrobe Bitches coffee mug.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
I know, which nobody's ever seen but us. We have Bathrobe Bitches coffee mug.
Yes,
but we have not done our hair in a while to take a picture of us using them to put it on the interwebs. But maybe we need to care less about what we look like when we take this picture. We just need to do it.
Yeah. My work has been on me about that because they want me to do videos for everything now. They want me to start communicating via video. Like, if you're going to say, check in with the client, do it in a video and send them an email with the video in it. And I'm like, but I don't have the right lighting and I don't have the right, hair and I don't have the right clothes and I don't have the right this and I don't have the right that. And they're like, stop it and just do it. They want to see your bright smile and your glowing personality. They don't care about anything else. And then I sit there and I go, I have a bright smile and a glowing personality. You guys think that really? Oh my God.
I think you have a bright smile and a glowing personality.
Thank you. I think the same of you too, but it's like, it's weird when people you don't think would think that, and they actually verbalize that to you. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. How do you know that? Like, do I show that to you? Oh. And then I wonder what else I showed them that I'm not aware of, like what do I do and say that they think like good or bad sometimes, because there are some people who take the thing you say the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I totally know what you mean. Or, like, I know I find for me, like, sometimes I take things a certain way. And I know that, like, the other person didn't intend it, like, to make me feel that way. But then, like, that goes back to, like, that's my shit. Yeah. Right? Like, that's not their shit that, like, I took this a certain way. That makes me think about, somebody one time, as we get older as women, we suddenly start growing really spiky black hairs on our chin out of nowhere. It's like one day your chin is smooth. The next day you have half a fucking beard. And you're like, but I'm a lady. Where did this come from? Testosterone. Yeah, right. You gotta pluck or whatever. And I remember saying something to somebody once like, I have these chin hairs and I gotta pluck them and it's like so hard. And she's like, well, like, just go get your chin waxed. And like, I totally, like, my brain ran with that because I was like, you know what, like, I can't just go get my chin waxed. Like, you live in like a busy metropolitan city where like you can just walk out of your apartment and walk 2 blocks and like you walk by 5 places where you can go get waxed. That is not my experience.
I'm like, there's a waxing place around here?
Yeah, like, right? Like, that's not my experience here, right? I live in, like, Podunk fucking Georgia. We have one strip, like, a few miles away that has stuff on it, and that's where we go for things. But it's not, like, easy for me to, like, do that because I can't just walk out of my front door and, like, I have to, like, find somewhere that will actually wax my chin. I don't, like, live in Boston anymore. There aren't 500 nail places that also do waxing or, like, whatever. It's, like, it's more of a thing. But, her intention behind saying that wasn't to, like, spiral me into, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, your life is not like my life. Like, it's not that easy for me, So, like, I totally, like, took what she said with good intentions, I'm sure, and was like, who the fuck do you think you are? Or like the other way. So when we did our day drunk in our bathrobe episode.
Oh no, what happened?
Afterwards, we were tipsy and we went and we made drunk chicken and it was delicious. But apparently when James and I went to Illinois, we were in the car for like 12 hours together and he was telling me about how I had, made this somewhat offhand comment to you. You had said something about like swinging or something like that. I don't know what we were talking about or how it came up because I don't even really remember having this conversation in great detail.
I mean, we were really drunk, so go ahead.
Because we drank, between the two of us 12 servings of Harvest Punch. But it was, and I had said something to you like, oh, James wouldn't be into that. James is too monogamous for that.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was telling me that, like, he, like, his mind ran with it for, like, weeks.
Oh, my gosh.
He didn't say anything about it. It was like, oh, like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Like, does she not want to be monogamous? Is, like, am I not monogamous enough? Am I too monogamous? Because, like, went, like, like, spiraling around in his mind about it. Like, it's so interesting. And it was, like, I don't even remember saying it. It was, like, I'm sure we were having a conversation about something really fucking stupid. You know, like drunk Linda and Deanna talking about some weird shit.
We were talking about Bridgerton that day, so.
Yeah, right? Who knows? Could have been anything. Oh, and one time, Lucas was littler, so it must have been a few years ago, because I think we were in this house, and we moved here in 2017.
Yeah.
So one time I was putting Lucas to bed, and he was like being a jerk or something, and I said, I put you in this world. I will take you out. And then he immediately started bawling his eyes out, and he said, but I don't want to die. And I was like, I'm sorry, it's just kidding. That's just something parents say sometimes. I promise you're not going to die. I was like, oh my God, I'm like literally the worst mother on the planet.
Yeah.
Panicking my child before he goes to sleep. He's going to have fucking nightmares that I'm like going to murder him.
I remember my mom telling me that once or twice. Wow, I never took it that far. But
I know.
It's like,
I don't want to die. He was so serious.
Oh, I bet.
Like he really was like.
He took it so literally,
yes.
like you were gonna like take him out tonight, like
this
then and
it.
there.
Like your life is over, dude.
Oh
like,
my gosh! Yeah.
And I've never said that again. Now I've told now that he's like older. I've told him this story. Now it's like a little bit of a joke, but. Was not at the time. I did not say that again.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't.
Yep.
That's freaky. Yeah, and sometimes you don't even know. I mean, I had a similar situation with Matt. We were over here after dinner when we had drinks, and we were all like, it was one of those family dinner nights that we had, and I said something about we were talking about, I guess, screwdrivers,
like the tool or the drink.
It could have been either at the time. I really don't know. We were really drunk. And I had said something, and you and James and I all started laughing, and Matt heard it but couldn't tell me what exactly I said, and thought for a long time that we were making fun of him. And I'm like, none of us remember what you're talking about. Like literally none of us. Like it's just like, but it was just like your monogamous comment, you know, it's like it's festered in there, and it just kind of spiraled. And it's like, I don't like, we were joking and saying stuff, and he didn't feel like he was part of it because he wasn't in the room at the time. He was kind of out of the room, so he just immediately assumed that it was about him, and I don't think it was. I think we were talking about drinks, because I think at the time we were talking about the, like, I don't like certain things because of the citrus, but I think we were talking about mules at the time, because James makes a fabulous mule.
Yes, he does. He makes an excellent cocktail.
And I don't like citrus in my drinks, but I will drink anything with citrus that he makes. I don't know why. It's well balanced. I can't even begin to talk about it.
I know. I put citrus in my harvest punch too.
And there's some of the citrus that I don't like the pieces of oranges. I don't really like those, but
you don't have to eat them.
No, I don't. I avoid them like the plague.
But it makes like the overall drink taste a little, you know, it like adds to the experience of the drink.
Yeah, but there's certain ones like I can't drink like Sex on the Beach or
like a screwdriver.
Yeah, I can't do screwdrivers. Yeah. It's too much orangey. I can't do it. But you put like the mules in the harvest punch, I can drink all the time. And I think he just mistook the whole conversation, and then he's spinning up about it, you know. And he doesn't. It's funny. It's like, I think you need to remind people to take things from a loving perspective every once in a while, and sometimes I forget to do that too. And I think that's part of it. So, yeah.
Gotta be careful with what you think in your head.
I know.
Or I don't know why some people just don't ask the clarifying questions. Because if James had just come to me and said, you said this thing yesterday to Deanna, and I just want to make sure, like, it's not a big deal, right? Like,
yeah.
I'd have been like, I don't even remember saying that, so don't worry about it.
Oh, the mailman's back to drop off my...
monogamous. Ooh, your kitty litter's here, baby. How excited are you?
I told you she had it.
Being a grown-up is interesting. We're real excited about the mailman delivering this kitty litter right now that we've been waiting for all day long. Oh my God.
But to see her come and drive without leaving it was kind of annoying. To see her come back is making me happy.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell her. I'll have to write a little note and tell her thank you.
Thank you for carrying the 40 pounds of kitty litter
To the front porch instead of leaving it by the mailbox. Although she did leave it outside in the rain one time, which is...
That's rude.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's packaged enough to where it didn't get damaged. If I hadn't been home when I saw the Amazon delivery thing, it would have been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So. Needle pulling thread?
That took way too long for my brain to register. I was like, and then I was trying to think of the next line, and I was like, fuck it.
That's hilarious.
And on that note, that's when we know we're about done for today. But going back to Jersey Shore.
Uh-huh.
All right. We'll end the podcast on this for today. Somebody on Jersey Shore had said something about that men, that they only think with their penis and their brains are in their penis. Mm-hmm. So then I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, maybe that's why women are so much smarter than men, because men are always injecting us with their brains.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
So this is what happens inside my brain.
Yeah, it's way too twisted.
It is a little bit,
but it's fun. These little sneak peeks of what's going on in your brain. A little scary, but a lot of fun.
Oh, well, you still love me.
I do. I always love you. You're so positive and reinforcing of everything.
Even though I'm weird as shit.
Yeah, but I think the weirdness is good because it helps me show my weirdness and not be so weird about it.
Or be so fearful about it. So you can turn your fear of being weird into a love of being weird.
Yes.
Because you had a miracle!
Woo! Yay! Yes, this is a good ending note.
I like it.
I'm a miracle.
You are a miracle.
Well, so are you.
We're all miracles.
Yes.
In our own way.
Yes, we are.
And we appreciate all of our miracle bitches.
Miracle bitches. Huh?
Yeah, who listen to our episodes.
Yes, we do. Can't wait to hear from them.
I know. It's very exciting. I like it when we get feedback.
Me too.
Feels like we're not podcasting in a vacuum.
Yeah, although I will say having my writer friend start laughing in the middle of a writer's group meeting about me saying, yeah, well, I'm so busy with my podcast now, and him just breaking down in complete laughter. And then I'm like, what's so funny? And he's like, your podcast, it's hilarious. And I'm like, and you're telling me this in the middle of this writer's group meeting? Like, I was like, how do I say, grateful for the feedback, because it was positive feedback, but I was also a little bit embarrassed because it was in the middle of something else that was totally not related to the podcast. So it's just like, it was a little, I don't know, it was a little off-putting. But hey, woohoo, we're funny.
I think we're fucking hysterical. And that's really all that matters.
All I know is that I laugh more when we're podcasting than I have in a long time. And it's been fun doing it. So I don't listen. That's just me, though. I'm still scared to listen to myself talk.
Well, then you got into the wrong venture.
I know. I think I did that to myself on purpose, though.
You had to push your boundaries.
Exactly.
You're doing a great job.
No, thank you.
At being my co-podcaster.
Cohort in crime, maybe?
Cohort in crime.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. No. I have a better one. Cohort in craziness. Because we're probably both going to be out on the dance floor dancing pretty soon here.
Lord, I can't wait. I need to get turned up. I gotta turned up. Or like, be ratchet. Or like, I don't know, whatever the kids say these days.
I have no idea.
I don't know what they say either, honestly.
Yeah, like.
I recently learned what YOLO was because I had to Google it.
I'm sorry, because I found out about that from the Impractical Jokers. Because they had the YOLOs boys or whatever, and I was like, what the hell? You only live once. I was like, oh, now I get it. Like,
yeah.
oh. Yeah, it was totally lost on me when he first said it.
Or like sometimes people text me things and I have to Google it so I understand what they've texted me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand what these letters are. Can't we just use words? Or how about you pick up your phone and press the call next to my name and you just talk to me?
Yeah, people don't do that anymore. And emojis really bother me because I never know what they mean. Do they mean exactly what the emoji is, or does it mean something other than what the emoji means and I just don't know it? Like, because it's in context with other emojis.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just stopped paying attention.
I try to avoid using weird
then...
weird emojis. Like, I'll send like a happy face or like a heart face. The ones that you like really know what they are.
A unicorn blowing a heart.
Yes, that too. Yeah. Or the eye, like the owl heart one too. Or like, you know.
Yeah.
James will send me a ghost and two bees. Because boobies.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha
ha. Very funny.
And that one I get, but he also had to explain it to me. But now I get it.
And now you get it a lot, right?
Yes. And I know that when you put the eggplant emoji, it's really a penis emoji.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't know that. Look, you learned something. Yes.
Yeah,
apparently the eggplant emoji is the penis emoji.
I see.
I don't know if they have a vagina equivalent emoji.
I have no idea.
Maybe it's the peach. Okay. On that, now we're just rambling, and we've got to turn it off. We're turning it off. All right. I'm turning it off. That's the end of our bitching for today.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Bathrobe Bitches. In this episode, we rant about how love never breaks, even within this current state of cancel culture, our guilty pleasures, and how things we say have impacts we can't foresee.
If you want more bitching between episodes, find us at bathrobebitches.com or on social media. On Facebook, we are at Bathrobe Bitches, but there's no I in bitches. And because Instagram is much less of an asshole, you can find us at Bathrobe Bitches there. See you on the next episode. Bye for now.